Welcome to Effervescent, where we embrace a full circle approach to health. For today's breath work, we're going to start doing something called Ujjayi Pranayama, and it is, I'll explain it. It's like a slight constriction of the throat. So before we do the breath work, I kind of want to talk through what it's like to do Ujjayi Pranayama. So inhale through your nose and close your mouth. And then as you exhale, you're going to have a slight constriction of the throat, like you're fogging up a mirror. So it kind of makes a noise. Like that. I don't know if the mics can hear it, but you're like almost closing your throat just barely and imagining that you're fogging up a window. So it's making the sound of the ocean. Do you guys?
I actually do this all the time.
Yeah?
Without knowing I'm doing something.
That's awesome.
When I feel stressed, I do it. Anyway.
That's really cool.
Thanks for teaching me. I didn't know.
Yeah. Because today's whole episode is on observing energetic leaks. And the reason we do Ujjayi breath is because it's a lock. It's one of the locks in the body where you're actually keeping your energy in your body instead of exhaling it out of your body. Yeah?
Cool.
So, do you guys get like how to do it? So for the breath work, go ahead and inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, you're going to make that noise and do a slow exhale and imagine that you're blowing up a balloon around you. Okay? So if your eyes are open, you can do that, but it's probably best
Mouth open or mouth closed?
Mouth is closed.
Okay.
So it's probably best if you close your eyes. So inhale through the nose, mouth is closed, and keep the mouth closed, but imagine as you exhale with the slight constriction of the throat that you're blowing up a balloon around you. Does that make sense? And then inhale through the nose, and then again exhale, make that noise, and as you exhale, the balloon is getting bigger around you. And then do it again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a slight constriction. And the balloon gets bigger and bigger. And this is a shield. This is an energetic shield to shield you, your emotions, your energy. Do it a couple more times. Inhale through the nose. And maybe you imagine that you're creating a thicker balloon, a more protective shield. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And then find your natural breath. Inhale. And exhale just normally in out your mouth or out your nose. It doesn't matter. And if your eyes are closed, go ahead and flutter them open. Good job. That one is a little, I don't know, longer?
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay, so let's talk about energy and specifically energy leaks. And I know that that can sound weird, like what the heck is an energy leak? So I want to kind of explain first before we start talking about it. So we all have energy in our body. We all have chi, a spirit, whatever you want to call it, flowing through our body at all times. And as we go about our day, sometimes, have you ever woken up, felt like, oh my gosh, I feel great, I'm going to go conquer the day, and then you get on your phone, and then you feel a little less energized, but you're like, okay, no, we're going to go do this day, and you get up, and then you walk out, and your kids have made a mess, or your spouse or whoever is a little more like stressed, and you're like, huh, in the body, and then you walk away, and you're like, okay, I want to have a good day, but you feel a little more stressed or a little less energy. And then you go throughout your day and you have conversations and you do homework and all these different things. You do life. And then by the end of the day, you're like exhausted, right? All of those little things, they can be where you're leaving some of your energy. And so it's so important to know how to call that energy back. But first we want to address what are some energy leaks that we might be experiencing, the listener might be experiencing. So I'm curious, before I give any examples, like what are some energy leaks that you see happening in your life right now? And same for the listener listening. I want you to be thinking about yours.
I can start because I have a bad habit in the morning of looking at my email before I even get out of bed. And not that I plan on answering everybody, but I just like scan to see what I'm getting into when I wake up. And immediately it's just like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I forgot to do this. I'm excited about this, whatever it is. And by the time I get out of bed, I've already exerted energy. Yes.
Yeah, you
That's
already
something I do.
given your energy to, oh, that thing and that thing and that thing. And especially like not acting on it in the moment, then leaves part of your energy there
Totally.
thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a yogi parable that's like, I think it's Yogi Raja. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it's him. And he says, it takes just as much energy to get up and do the dishes as it does to sit on the couch and think about doing the dishes.
It's so true.
Because your energy
Yeah.
is with the dishes. And so, but that would be an energy leak. Instead of just doing it, you're thinking about it all day long and you're like split. Okay, go for it.
I mean, I think the same thing for me, like checking my phone always in the morning and then trying to get to the gym is harder. And so I've definitely, here's like a little tip. I would say, like, if you're a person that works out in the morning, like really try and already be in the gym at least, and then start checking your phone. And I can actually say this for 2 seconds because this is more like the scientific version that I have learned, and it goes with dopamine. So dopamine is not just the happy chemical, it's actually the chemical of like drive. So your body will produce dopamine when it wants you to keep doing that thing, okay? So in the morning, when we're talking about like checking our email or checking our phone and having that energy leak, the way it's described is you have a full lemon. Imagine a full lemon full of juice every single morning, and it almost like resets. This is how it was described to me, at least. And you know, when you have a full lemon and you squeeze it, you actually get a lot of juice out at first because it's a new lemon. So when you look at your phone and it's a super high dopaminergic activity, and it's right in the morning where you have a full lemon still, you can squeeze a lot of freaking juice out of it, and then your dopamine, like, you won't have as much drive to do the other things you want to do in the day. So then they always say, like, hey, do activities that are less dopaminergic in the beginning of the day, because then your body will produce dopamine for like the hard work that you're doing. So like you'll actually get a little hit of dopamine for going to the gym and or doing the dishes and feeling productive. You'll get more of a dopamine hit if you have more of your lemon. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I think about like checking the phone in the morning and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Because I do that too. If I can't wake up, it's like that forces me awake. But then, of course, I'm going to be more exhausted throughout the day because I like squoze most of my lemon in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I
Mhm.
love that. I feel like for me, one of my energy leaks that I do common is I over empathize with people. And it's a gift because I'm such an empathizer. But sometimes I will care so much so that like I forget myself in the process. And I'm like, oh, they're having such a hard day. Oh, what can I do for them? But then I think about it all day long. And like part of me is actually with them, and it's not even helping them, but it's like taking from my productivity, my passions, my relationship, all the things, because I'm caring so much more about someone else and their pain than my own.
I want to say another one
Yeah,
with that because, I think that's so true. I've actually heard Mom talk about that in terms of like thinking about kids, you know, your kids when you're not there and stuff. And I think it's the same idea.
Yeah, kids are an energy leak, period.
I know, I'm like, I hate like bringing that up, but it is true in a way of like.
In the best way.
Yeah.
I want my kids to want to have kids, but they definitely leak a little bit.
Yeah. And especially when you can't do anything for them, or they're halfway across the country, or you know what I mean, like that's hard to do. But with that, I had another one, which was anytime you are worried about what people are thinking about you, whether it's sharing online like we're doing or in person, it's like I feel like I struggle with that a lot sometimes in certain ways where I'm like, did I say that right? Did I do that conversation right? Or that video, whatever. And then it's like with me. But it's like, who even knows what they're actually thinking at the end of the day?
Yeah, same for me on that one. Were you going to say something?
Nope.
Oh.
Not yet.
Okay. Another one I was going to say was which the one you just said is like one of my biggest. Like fearing that I'm being judged and focusing so much on that like my energy is more focused on them than me.
Yeah.
And actually, the other day I was writing in my journal. I was doing this manifestation practice, and I was free writing fast. And I wrote a sentence. Actually, I think I mentioned this in another episode, but I wrote the sentence, if I were that version of myself, my higher self, my future self, I would focus less on protecting my energy and more on just being the energy that attracts what I want.
Mm.
That's so cool.
And then I was like, whoa, because all day long, being such an empath, I'm like, okay, I got to protect my energy. I got to protect my energy. But like, protection is still,
It's still a drain.
it's still like
Yeah,
a fight
it's true.
energy. And I don't
Yeah.
want to say fight, but
That's
like,
actually a good point.
it's still like, I got to protect myself instead of I am so focused on me
Yeah.
and not other people, protect myself from them. I'm so focused on me that like, I am just either repelling people who don't want to be around me, which is great, and calling in the people who do resonate with me instead of having to like fight, you know?
Yeah, because that I so agree with that. Protection, it's like then you're still giving so much energy to the
Them.
protection, and then it's like, yeah, it's that practice of like cutting people off, and like it's almost like the
Yeah.
holding a grudge of it all instead of being in your authentic self. Yeah, I have never thought about it
Yeah.
like that, but it's
And
true.
it just came through, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, thank you," wherever it came from.
It's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, so another one that I also feel like I'm working on is like saying no
Yeah.
instead of saying yes, because when we say yes, sometimes if it's not actually a yes in our body and we're just doing it out of guilt or shame, that's also leaking our energy,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely. Saying no. That's something that I don't think I even tried to practice until, well, 2020, when everything kind of shut down and I was on like 5 different boards in school and like kids and going to every social event there was, and then everything shut down. I have a lot of friends that were doing those similar things and then all of a sudden went, whoa, that was way too much and I need to learn to say no. And so when people started going back into whatever post-pandemic looks like, I'm way more careful. My goal is to keep my schedule as clear as I can and to add in only my most important things versus like filling it up with all the cool, exciting things going on and then feeling always overexerted or always tired. So saying no is a big deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like, have you ever heard when they say, when you say no to one thing, you're saying yes to another?
I like that.
Yeah.
There's another thought with that I've heard as well, and it talks about your season of no. So sometimes instead of saying yes to all these things, you actually need to be actively thinking about the things you need to be saying no to. So it can be in terms of whether you're trying to grow a business, like you actually need to be saying no to more things and focusing on your business than saying yes to more things. And I also think in terms of okay, let's say like working out and stuff. Yeah, you should like work out and no, more in terms of getting healthy physically. Yeah, you should go to the gym and like work out and all this stuff, but really you need to be saying no to the overindulgence on treats and stuff more than you need to be adding the ice plunges and the saunas and the runs and the working out. Does that make sense? Yeah. Which I've actually really cut back on things like that because I realized like, oh, like for me, I operate better with these things, but then I feel like what most people do is just add all of the self-care things at once because someone else told them to instead of like what actually moves the needle and gives them energy. It's energy
Yes.
givers instead of energy leaks.
Yes, which if you haven't heard of energy givers and energy takers is what they usually say, like look it up on Pinterest or Google or wherever. There's so many charts that say like, well, let's say some. What are some energy givers?
And I think it depends on the person too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like ice baths.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. Like I'll do it for fun with like friends and stuff, but like I tried it and I was like, yeah, that's really just not for me. One for me is journaling. I really like journaling in the morning.
Sunshine,
Mm-hmm.
drinking water, going on walks. Like those are going to be the energy givers. Can you think of any?
Music is always
I was
one
just
for me
gonna-
that I'm like,
I knew you
turn
were
it
gonna say that,
on,
yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, I have all different kinds of songs for different things that I need energy towards. If it's energy towards my emotional health, then I turn on a certain kind of music. If it's energy towards getting up and presenting, it's a different it's a different set of music, you know, but
Mhm.
yeah, music's big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about the energy givers just as much as the energy takers, because I am thinking of like someone listening to this who's like, okay, well, I have kids, I have a spouse, and I have a job, and everything else is getting my energy. So what do I do?
Yeah.
So can I say something with that
Yeah.
as far as with kids? Because we always hear people talking about how kids drain you or their energy leaks.
Yeah.
But it's also the opposite. Like some of the things I loved that gave me energy with kids, like when you were little, is like, let's say if we wanted to do a craft, and so we get out coloring and markers and everything, and to watch how each of the kids chose to express themselves on paper always made me so happy. It filled
Yeah.
my soul. So even though like getting out the mess, making a mess and everything was maybe a leak, I'm definitely plugging the hole and adding some more water to my barrel by watching the outcome of that choice.
I
Yeah.
think social
Yeah.
media definitely focuses a lot on like, at least for me, like the hardships of kids. And
Oh, yeah.
it used to really warp my perception on like parenting. And this could be a whole other topic in and of itself. You should do
Well,
this
that's
for your
parents driving
podcast.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My mom, literally, this is her whole work is
Yeah.
Parents Driving Change, which is linked in the show notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do agree with that. I think that's a good thought to say, like, kids. I mean, there's a reason why people have kids, and say it's their best work of their entire
Yes,
lifetime is because
there's-
it's an energy giver.
Yeah, there's nothing that makes me laugh harder or find more joy than seeing my kid laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, even other kids I don't even know, when babies laugh or little kids laugh, it's like, oh my gosh, fills my soul that like this little soul that can't even express themselves with words yet can literally, when babies are learning to laugh and they go,
Yeah.
and they don't even know that they're laughing. It's just that it comes from the
so
soul.
true.
Oh my gosh,
Isn't
it's
that
the cutest
funny?
thing ever.
Yeah, like babies don't understand and yet they just have the knowing to laugh.
Yeah.
Laughter is totally an energy giver.
Yes. Yeah. They're not laughing
Fun
because somebody
and
taught
play.
them,
Yeah.
like, this is how you laugh. It literally is guttural,
Yeah.
just comes out of them, and it's the cutest thing ever.
But then there's all the science that's like, oh, laughter
Yeah.
creates certain chemicals in the brain and all these other things too. I love that. I love that so much. So to the listener, I love that you have a mother perspective on this. Like, if someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, well, I am clearly leaking energy everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? What would your answer be to them?
I mean, first thing that comes to my head is be intentional about the people you're around, because if your most important people is your family, that's first. Like, write a list. And then if you start adding in all of the other people in your life and you start maybe looking at them and saying, not that it's a like or not like a person, but it's like, what interactions are draining, what interactions are filling. And we need both, right? Work is not always going to be just like feed your soul. It's going to be hard and it's going to be draining. We need to have that, but placing your priorities, I think, is a big deal. I've had a few experiences in the past with friends when it's like they were struggling so deeply in their lives that it was taking all of the energy I had for my own kids. And I've had to say, hey, like, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done. It's hard for me to use my voice. And I had to say, whatever's going on in your life right now, I'm so sorry, but it is affecting me. I'm having nightmares. I can't show up for my kids. We need to maybe not hang out right now, maybe later down the road, but it's not working right now. And that is some of the hardest things to say. But if I really, at the end of the day, want to wake up and be able to have energy for the people I love the most, you have to make those decisions sometimes.
Yeah. And have you ever heard the term like energy vampires?
Yeah.
I think that not everybody, I don't like when people say like they are toxic. Like, they are an energy vampire. It's like, okay, in this moment, they might be an energy vampire to you, but not someone else, you know.
And maybe they don't even realize it as well.
Yeah.
I think that's
Totally. And it's not that I don't want to help my friend, but it's also like, if you talk about it, I think one of the hardest things for me in that situation I'm thinking of is like, they weren't doing anything to change it. They were just placing it all on me. It's like that was their release and their fix, is to have me hold it. It wasn't any of the
like, hey, I'm working through this. What can I do to help myself?
So I love this, because this is where I wanted the conversation to go, is to boundaries
Mm-hmm.
and why they're so important, but I'm curious for your answer first. Do you have one, or do you want me to just
Oh, what was the question?
to the listener, like,
What to do?
yeah, what would you tell them to do?
It's funny because I swear this is always my first answer because it's just the core is like you said, it's having the awareness of what gives you
Yeah.
energy and what sucks your energy.
Mhm.
I think I have more and more awareness because this is the field that I like to learn about a lot is like health and wellness, and obviously a lot of that is what gives you energy. And so I think it's again, yeah, like workshopping what gives you energy and what takes away your energy. And also I have a practice about like the boundaries thing, like the golden sun visualization
That's
and
the
like
word I said earlier,
yeah.
but I don't know if I can say
Like
the
I
word.
can't say that. But I mean we can get into that a little bit like later if you want.
Yeah, or you can just say what it is. I think actually you said it in another episode.
I think I
but
did too,
if
but
someone hasn't listened to
exactly.
it,
Might
it's
as well.
basically like imagining a sun, and you're laying there. You can either lay down or do it sitting up, but you imagine the sun either right out in front of you or over your head, and you just, inside the sun, there's a magnet, the most powerful magnet in the world, and you imagine that when you turn the switch on, all of your energy is coming back to this sun, and as it does, the sun grows and grows and grows. And then you could even journal this. Draw the sun, draw what energy is coming back to your sun, and then you sit and breathe and imagine that the sun is pouring into your body and filling you with your energy that you've left
Yeah.
with people, with conversations, with memories,
With phones,
with
like
your phone, with your projects, computers.
I'm telling you guys, don't knock it till you try it. It may sound super weird at first, but like even just the act of being like, okay, I am done with work. I'm going to take the energy out of the dang computer, out of the dang phone, and put it back into me. Like you physically can feel a difference, at least for me.
No, it's
Yes,
true because
yes.
your mind it hears what you say,
Yeah.
whether it's true or not, and that's why intentional speaking out loud is so powerful because if you're saying that, your mind's like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then it's going to try to bend to that
Yeah.
thought.
You can even do it actually with sorry, I just thought about this. You can do this with past experiences that are
Yes.
still coming back to you. You can just bring your energy back from that and be like, that is in the past. I can't do anything about that. And when I was really, really struggling with certain exes and stuff,
Yeah.
and I wanted to move on, I would literally imagine me like bringing my energy back and be like, no, that's not yours anymore. Like that is mine. So yeah, it's really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually love that you brought up talking about it because
Mhm.
you can meditate on it and imagine the sun dropping into your body. But if you're not visual and that's like not your thing, you can draw it, right? Draw the sun, write the things that are coming back to you, and then write the words, I receive my energy back.
Yeah, the
Simple.
more senses you can involve in anything, the more effective it's going to be. Yeah.
And that's why I love that you brought up speaking, because it's like, okay, if you don't want to journal, you can be sitting in your car and be saying, okay, energy, okay, situation with so-and-so, I am taking my energy back from this
Yeah.
situation because I have been spinning about it for a long time and I'm ready to feel whole again. And just as simple as speaking it, like, don't knock it till you try it. It's so much more powerful than you realize.
It really is.
Okay, so let's talk about boundaries, because we definitely could do episode on episode about boundaries because it's such like a buzzword now. It wasn't before. But when it comes to like energy leaks, you have to know what gives you energy and what's taking your energy. And then when you know, it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
I need to set some boundaries. And I think that I'm really passionate about boundaries and them being set correctly because I did them so crappy when I was learning them. I didn't realize I was trying, but my boundaries very much sounded like, you can't bring friends over after 11 p.m. You can't talk that way to me. And that's what I thought were boundaries, which is not the case. And so if you're listening to this and that's what your boundaries sound like, I'm just going to invite you to have an open mind through this conversation. Boundaries are not to keep people out of your life. They're to keep people in your life. And as much as you can, because then of course there's times where it's like,
Yeah.
I tried and it is a no. But a healthier boundary than like, you can't invite friends over after 11 o'clock would be, when you invite people over, I am going to blank. And turning it to be an I statement and a me and a just I, me instead of you, right?
Because you can't control what anyone does, and then that's
Yes.
just fertile ground for it to be even worse.
And then it's more traumatic because they didn't listen to you trying to control them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, I'm trying to set boundaries, and you just feel even more lost than you were in the first place.
And I think that's why boundaries get a bad rap, because all of a sudden
Yeah.
people are like, whoa, she
You're
set
controlling
boundaries.
me.
And so people are like, get confused about what it means. Me
Yes.
too. And to hear you explain the difference, I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
really a needed conversation.
And it doesn't have to be so harsh. Like, I think boundaries can come from an emotional place,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't need a boundary if you
Yeah.
weren't emotional about a situation. And so setting the boundary in a time when you're not emotional about it is really helpful, and alone or with someone that like you can talk through it with, that like is level-headed.
I
Go
also
ahead.
can I just
Yeah.
point out too, like, we're talking a lot about relationships and stuff, and maybe like telling someone something, but also I have boundaries that are just like, I just know in my head, where like I never needed to tell the other person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where like I just am like, oh, maybe when they like start going down that rabbit hole of gossip or something, like I'm going to not engage, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. But it's not like I tell them, unless you feel like you need to tell them, of course.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think boundaries are only with other people, but boundaries are with yourself. Period. If other people are involved, cool, but like, I have so many personal boundaries of when I feel fear, I check in, and if it's not something that's going to kill me, then I do it anyways. That doesn't involve any other person. It might, but also it's like, to better myself, this is my boundary. And like with going and working out, it's like, when I get to the gym, I'm not allowed to sit in my car.
Yeah.
Because if I sit in my car, then it gets harder to go in. And those are all personal, because if I were to do the opposite, I would be leaking my energy. I would be sitting in my car and doom scrolling and thinking about going to the gym, but never actually walking into the gym. And so these boundaries keep it so I'm not just throwing my energy everywhere. And I think nobody really is taught that. Like, do you guys feel like you were taught to hold your energy growing up?
No, that's definitely been an intentional practice that
Yeah.
I've had to learn over the past like 15 years, I would say I've been working on it.
Yeah.
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 Same.
Yeah. I I have this other thought too. There's this quote that says something like 90% of stress is because you can actually do something to fix that stress. Maybe I didn't explain
Oh,
that right.
interesting.
I mean, I get you.
Does that make sense?
When you know it's the thing you need to do, and so you do everything else but the thing, and that causes
and
you all the
that's
stress.
that's what's actually true stress. So it's like, if you know you can't do anything about the situation, why would it be causing you stress?
Oh, man.
I was
Oh,
like,
man.
dang, yeah.
Oof.
Okay, I don't know where to go from here. Let me look at my notes.
Well, I have something.
Yeah.
I have something about doom scrolling that I was looking at,
yeah.
because I was thinking this is going to come up. We could choose to talk about doom scrolling.
Which is another energy leak.
An energy leak. So did you know that doom scrolling, actually research shows, and I'm going to give you 5 things that it does. Some of them I was aware of, some of them I was not. But one is the algorithms are weaponized against your mental health. So it watches you, right?
Oh,
It
yeah.
knows what it's going to feed you and what you're going to consume. And ultimately that can be an energy leak.
I could go down a whole rabbit hole with that. But
The second one is even brief exposure has immediate consequences. So it doesn't take long. I mean, if you see something and it's a trigger for you, it doesn't have to be a long thing. It can be like, boom, energy leak. And you don't even realize what happened. Okay, number 3, it creates psychological destruction. I mean, that sounds so extreme, but really it destroys your satisfaction. It can, depending on what you're looking at, your mental well-being and harmony, and like poison, it can spread. So once again, a lot of times we feel triggered. We don't even know where it came from. We're opening up our minds and our souls to all of this influence that we don't even realize it's dropping in so quickly.
And they want you on the app. Remember that.
Yeah, they
want
want
you on the app, so they're going to pick things to keep you on the app.
And it watches your eyes dilate. So
Yes.
then it's reading you.
Okay, that creeps me out.
yeah,
The watch the eyes thing.
there's a whole rabbit hole. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole rabbit hole I can get into.
Okay, number 4, it destroys self-control and creates compulsive behavior. So doom scrolling is strongly linked to social media addiction or FOMO, creating a vicious cycle so that people keep scrolling even though they know it's harmful. Okay, this is the most shocking
I've
one.
done that. Yeah, I'm ready.
Sorry, no, I'm just
you're
like
good.
reading
You're
a
good.
list, so I'm cruising. Okay, number 5, this one is the one that just killed me. Doom scrolling targets agreeable, conscientious people. So people who are naturally trusting and goal-oriented are more vulnerable to doom scrolling because they're less equipped to recognize the manipulation.
Oh.
That was shocking to me.
Wait, what?
That
It's
makes
saying-
sense.
So
though.
when
People
in
who-
psychology, they'll look at, okay, so one way they rate you is how agreeable you are to situations. So I want to go with the flow. I want to understand. I want to relate. I want to empathize. So if you are naturally that way, you are more likely to actually be affected and be manipulated. And it targets that. And then people that are spin easier than people that are just like, whatever, that's not true. And they keep going.
Yeah.
Where it's actually, I mean, if you look at the personality tests, it's agreeableness is a strength. It's like anything
Yeah,
though.
They're
Like
literally both needed.
Yeah.
so it can be both, right? Depending on the level of the different things.
Exactly. And being like totally, I don't know, being totally rude or like super out there is not great either. But sometimes you need those people to be like, hey, this is wrong. And using your voice to say stuff like that. But then,
It's an ecosystem. It's literally an ecosystem. I love that you shared that because I think doom scrolling is like the addiction of the world right now. And we actually did an episode on it was more on AI and stuff and how it can affect you. But
Yeah.
Okay, I want to read my list because I have a couple more that I wrote down. You already said gossiping. Gossiping.
I read that from your list. I was
Oh.
like, oh yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, like that's such an energy leak. And for what benefit? None.
I think about like the news too, the news cycle and stuff, because my YouTube channel is more talking about like news related to this stuff. And I actually view that, some news channels and stuff, as literally adult gossip.
Oh,
yeah.
totally.
Because all they
And
do
bullying.
is rip on other people.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
And it's like, they don't talk about news that actually matters most of the time. Most of the time, it's like ripping on people for no impact of the world. Like,
Yes.
what is that doing for the world? So anyways,
but everybody's watching it.
exactly, because I don't know why. We just like watching whatever's
Probably
happening.
the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Probably the dopamine hit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of reasons why we gossip biologically or whatever, but I did think about that, like gossiping / news. I kind of view that as the same thing.
Because what could you be doing? It totally is. With that energy.
Yeah.
Instead of like sitting talking about someone else, you could be sitting creating your dream retreat.
Yeah.
Your dream job, your dream body, your like you could be painting, you could be doing so much more with that because you're only allotted so much energy in a day.
Or talking about news that like matters that people need to like know
gonna
about.
help people.
Yeah. It's just interesting.
And like we only have so many years. What do you want to focus on in those years? Like,
Yeah. I mean, here I go talking about my vision loss again, but it's like I planned on doing this and this and this, and all of a sudden I'm cutting out things that just won't work for me anymore. So it's not even that like when you die, it's just that you have the ability for so long to do different things and we don't know what they are. And so not to be Debbie Downer like you're saying, but it's like and my doom scrolling tends to be more knowledge based. So not even that I'm watching
Yes,
Bright
too.
and I know. Yeah. So I get into like, I need to learn all the things. I want to know all the things because I'm passionate about it. But if I am not implementing it or bettering the world in any kind of way with everything that I'm consuming, it's still doom scrolling. And like you said, if I set a timer for myself, whatever, and then I'm like, okay, get up. I want to learn guitar. I want to learn to paint. I want to, and not because I'm trying to perform any of it, but just to fully embrace the time that I have in my life.
yeah.
Chronic learning is the smart person's way of procrastination.
Why do you remember that quote? That's just really painful. That's good.
I remembered that quote because I needed that the
Ooh,
most.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like mic drop and the podcast there. Not really, but like, because I always feel that. if I'm learning about what I'm doing, but then I get off and I remember nothing. And I was actually talking to Ella, I think it was Ella. Yeah. And it was just this week, and she was like, did you know there are studies that have shown that if you're highlighting things in books, you are actually going to forget the things you highlighted because your brain is like, okay, got it for later. And the same thing happens on social media. Like, we all like that, but it's like, you didn't retain it because you just put it in a folder for later, and then your brain actually forgets the things that you're saving for later because you know that you've saved it for later.
I know this is kind of different than energy leak, but I do think this is valuable because I've thought about that. And so I've literally looked into like how to combat that and like what to do for this. And so I feel like the listener, like, I have a little bit of a system. One that has helped me so much is having a project. So then whatever you're learning, you know that you actually need to implement that thing into the project. If you don't have anything tied to the learning, it's okay to like still learn stuff. But again, it's like, now that I know, okay, I have Effervescent podcast and my YouTube where I am talking about like health and wellness. Okay, what are the basic, simple things I need to learn to do that? And then like cutting it off there has helped a lot. And kind of in that same idea, it's just like, if you want to learn something new, watch one video and then do the thing and get as far as you can into that thing until you're like, oh, now I need to learn how to chop up clips. Okay, let's now learn to do that. And so it's like your minimal viable learning tool. Like, how do I describe that?
No, I feel like you explained it perfectly.
And that, I mean, I'm not
but it takes boundaries.
But yeah.
It honestly takes boundaries to be like, okay, I'm only learning this thing instead of learning how to build a birdhouse and and create whatever. Like, instead of sitting learning about all the things, you're actually setting a boundary of, I'm not going to waste all my energy on all these things. I'm going to focus.
Yeah.
Like, even, go ahead.
Oh, I just, like, one example. Okay, I need to learn how to play the guitar. Okay, instead of learning how to play an entire song, let's go and learn 3 chords and practice those chords. Okay, now after that, how can I learn strumming patterns? Okay, let's learn that. Like, it's just the incremental, and that's what I need to focus on the most is incremental learning, then action, then learn, then action.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, even in school and assignment, I started a new class last week, and it's sports psychology 3, whatever. It's to the point where people are starting to build their businesses and things like that before we write our dissertations. But we're down to 2 people in my one class. I think it's getting so narrowed down because it's getting towards the end and people are kind of filing into their specific areas of study. And I'm finished getting my CMPC, which is my Certified Mental Performance Consultant, and I've done it all, but I haven't taken the test. And another lady that's in the class said, well, I didn't get the CMPC. Do I need to get that certification? But she's already a counselor. And so I said to her, look, like, there are a million certifications out there. We could literally certify every day for the rest of our lives. And so for me, I felt like I wanted that certification just to distinguish when I'm focusing on parenting and performance psychology, that I do understand the science behind the athletics and everything. But where for her, she's a counselor and now she's working with athletes. And I'm like, I don't think you need it. And then the professor got on in our conversation and said the same thing that we're saying.
Yeah.
There are a million certifications. You need to choose for you exactly what you need. And so you're not wasting time, over and over and over, just learning everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this because it's a huge energy leak for people.
Yeah.
Is looking, what do I call it? Like, thinking we need someone else or a certification to tell us we're okay. It really goes back to caring what other people are thinking. Like, that is such an energy leak for people, is being more focused on how's this going to look for others versus, do I really need this certification? Or do I really need to have this conversation with so-and-so? Or is it more so because I think I should?
Yeah.
And should is, I didn't say the word because I swear in every episode on accident. Okay, I'm going to run down this list a little quicker because I want to also talk about how to stop the energy leaks too. and they're a little more crunchy ways of doing it. But said that. Holding on to your past, Brighton mentioned that, or to a person. It could even be a person that's alive in your life right now. Another thing that could be an energy leak is having a cluttered home.
Yeah.
Because so much of your energy is sitting in one space, and it's like, if you were to clean that up, it like frees up your mental space, don't you think?
Just try moving, and I threw away half of my wardrobe, and I don't even remember what I had. I literally don't even remember my clothes.
But it's also freeing. It's like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I was like, holy crap, I can focus on other things, and I didn't need that many. Funny enough. And then we went on a shopping spree when we got here.
And we're going today.
Yeah, we literally are after this. Anyways.
Another one is being obsessed with a project or work or something like that. You mentioned it, like calling your energy back from the laptop or the paint project or whatever, because if part of you is there, I actually always think about this when we bring people to Costa Rica, Cameron and I, my husband, when the women get there, the first thing we talk about is be here. Like, your kids are home. Yes, they have babysitters. Yes, your spouse. Yes, you have a work or a job. All of that's happening, but you're here. And you want to remember this. And if you are half here, half worried about all the things that are happening at home that you can't do anything about, then you're not going to be able to have memory retention. You're not going to be able to fully feel into the experience or just like heal, really.
Yeah.
Because part of you is elsewhere. Okay. I think those are good. Oh, I actually was thinking another one for the gym, because I was like, well, how would I tie like working out into this or like mind into this? And jump in if you guys have thoughts. I feel like you've been saying them. But for the gym, an energy leak for me is like, what are other people thinking about me if I try this new thing?
Oh, yeah.
Or my outfit I'm wearing, you know?
Yeah, and I think what's funny is no one's paying attention to you as much as you think. But I totally, especially in the beginning of my fitness journey, remember that so much. Like, I can't wear that because people are going to look or whatever. And yeah, I always laughed because I would be worried about what I would wear, or I'd like want to wear something good, but then I didn't feel good, so then I didn't want to go to the gym. And I'm like, isn't that the whole point of going to the gym? It's because I wanted to feel good, but then like I can't even get myself there because of all these mental tricks that I'm playing on myself. It's just funny.
I do the same thing with the gym, like Orange Theory, because I usually go in the mountains, and now that I'm going around people to exercise, I'm like,
weird.
Oh man. So I'm like, okay, I want to wear a hat because I don't want to do my hair, but then I'm hotter when I wear a hat, so my heart rate gets higher. And I don't want to wear a tank top because I don't have the strongest muscles yet, but I don't want to go to the gym so my muscles don't get strong.
Yeah.
It's all this weird cycle of just what we're wearing, and then that stops us from progress.
Doing the thing that would,
which would tie in the mind of like,
oh yeah, that's the
self-talk,
rumination and the spinning. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what the heck do we do? How do we protect our energy, but also just be the energy we want to be?
I want to say right now, people listening, we want to hear what you have to say about this. It's not just about us. So join in if you think of something. What do we do?
What is your favorite thing to do to either call back your energy, set yourself up for being in your own energy for the day, or just like feeling so whole within yourself that nothing else outside you matters?
I think if you guys haven't listened to the authenticity episode, you like that really is like all of our answers of like how to why it's important to be authentic and how to be authentic in a world that's, it's so hard to. I always think about, if you guys have you seen Ted Lasso? We've all seen Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Love Ted Lasso.
So the blonde lady, Rebecca, where before she goes into a big board meeting with all these men, she's so scared. She goes like, I love her.
The whole thing is
like,
so funny.
It's
power pose.
It's the power pose. It's the thing of being in her energy and like hyping herself up, which I think also music does that too.
I love that. I love that. So doing that at the beginning of the day before you do something big, totally calls back your energy.
For me, I'm trying to push myself for more alone time. It's really hard for me to have alone time because I've always been around people my entire life. And even now that my kids are older, my majority of my time is spent with my family and my kids, to the point where I realize, how do I feel? And it's really hard for me. So I have to remove myself from situations, not even situation, I have to change my location and sit with myself and be like, how do I feel to check in? Because it's so hard for me to do it when people are even around. So I've been trying to do that more.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One that I wrote down that I wanted to share, it's definitely crunchier, but why not? So your right side is masculine and your left side is feminine in the body, and that crosses in the brain. But so your right side gives, left side receives, right? Masculine energy is more like I'm going to give, which some people are like, is it? Because feminine energy can also give, but feminine is a lot about like receiving and softening and being open to like downloads or whatever. And a lot of my crunchy friends will wear crystals on their left, on their receiving hand, so that when they're going around their life, they have like a little protection on their receiving side. And I know this is definitely more crunchy, but that's okay. And they'll have like obsidian bracelets or I think hematite or black tourmaline. And they intentionally wear it on this side so that when they're like saying hi to people, hugging people, because when you touch people, that is an exchange of energy. And so having something, even if it's just the placebo effect, then it's a placebo effect, right?
But yeah, it's the intention. It's
Yeah,
especially
it's
something
intention.
like wearable. Like I have word of the year, that you do that I wear on me because I think about it and I'm like, oh
Yes.
yeah, that's a reminder. So totally.
Yeah, or every time I go out, I bring lavender because that is like, I feel like that is like I don't know, my smell, that sounds so weird. But it like speaks to my heart. And so I will put it on and like, that's my way of zipping up my energy. Other people like more physical things of like, they'll like sweep their arms and then imagine literally zipping up and they'll physically zip up and then like put the key somewhere to be like, I'm in my own energy.
Oh my gosh, I have a thought with that. And
Yeah.
I think any of the listeners going to understand this, and maybe, I know we can like totally wrap up, but I think you're going to get this. I'm in the process of moving, so I've been touring a lot of rentals. You can just feel the people in there. You can feel it. It's like
and everything.
Call back your energy.
Yes. And so I have to sit there and I go in and I'm like, I know when I move into the space, I'm going to have to like just visualize like, okay, everything else leave. Like this is my space now. And like, I swear, unless you are the least tuned in person, everyone knows that like rooms and houses have energy. It just does.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah, which we actually did like an episode, I think it was our 8th episode that was is your energy healthy? And I think we talked about that, but gosh, you can feel.
You just can't.
You can feel, even just a person, you can walk in the room and be like,
yeah, someone's mad or something. Yeah, or
and
something's
then
happening.
In that moment, what do? Do you fawn and give them your energy and hover and overreach because that is an energy leak? Or do you check in with yourself, pause, take a breath and be like, okay, how do I feel? Well, I was good 5 seconds ago, so this is not mine to hold.
Yeah.
What can I do to best take care of myself? And that's where boundaries come in. Is what do I need that I can do myself to best take care of myself?
Yeah.
Well, do you have a thought?
No, I think that the awareness that you speak to is, so we talk about it over and over, the awareness of if you don't even realize, I mean, just, I would say, imagine yourself somewhere during the day and you're feeling good. And then all of a sudden something drops in and shifts and you're like, what just happened? A lot of times, like when you guys were little or just going throughout the years, I remember realizing like, what shifted? What happened? All of a sudden I snapped. And if I am aware of that, that's the first step. I can trace it back and be like, oh my gosh, like this thing happened or at work or this person, this, and it shifted everything about me and how I was showing up in the world. And I'd say it's not fair. It's just kind of like now I'm reflecting somebody else's something. And so one thing that I do a lot is like imagine cutting the cords or like with scissors, like literally if I imagine myself to them and cutting that connection because it's not me. Or another thing I'll do is imagine a train going down the road. This is more of a longer meditation, but like I'm on the train and people are getting on and off the train all the time at the different stops at different points in my life or different points in my day. And if it's not feeling like energetically I want them on my train anymore, I will literally say, goodbye, thank you for being on my train for this time. This is your stop.
I love
Doors
that.
close and my train goes down the road.
Yeah, I like
and
that
it's a
too.
very visual way of saying thank you and goodbye. I mean, that might happen in the day. It might happen sometimes. I've had to go back to relationships years ago and I'm like, they're not on my train anymore. Am I trying to see them through the back window? Like, why am I even looking back
Yeah.
down the track? I'm not going there. I'm going forward and I'm on this train here and now. So anyway, it's a visual way.
I think you actually bring up an important point, and I want to say it before we end this. Are we like over time?
It's 53.
Okay, we're going to just say this last thought and then we can like wrap it up. But we're talking so much about like calling back our energy, but it's also important to address the fact that some people reach into your energy without permission. And I love the quote that says, no one can take your power unless you give it to them. And in the same line, some people will try.
And who are we? Who are we? What energy are we bringing to other people and leaving with them?
True.
Yes. Like, okay, you walk in the room, someone else is not okay. Are you like,
Or they're good and you're not.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we?
Have the awareness
The other
to
people
know
need
that
to
you might be
kick
the
us
one.
off the train.
Sorry,
you know?
you're the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the problem. It's me.
It's true though.
Yes.
I mean, I totally agree with that. Like, this is gonna maybe sound interesting, but like, I feel like sometimes in my life I meet people that are like, I need to protect myself and boundaries and all this stuff, and it's like, they're the ones that are the most hard to be around. I don't know.
But that's true. Like, it can be true.
Yeah.
And that is where I actually got called out in our intuition class from my teacher. She was talking about, like, if we're going there, reading people's thoughts and how I feel like I'm so empathetic. I can, like, really pick up on people. And she's like, I don't know how she said it, but she said something like, and sometimes you're actually the one that's projecting your thoughts so loud that you're not reading other people's mind. You're the loud one. Because I was thinking, oh, this person I'm with, they're so loud energetically, like you're saying, but I'm actually the one that's energetically loud.
Thinking, yeah.
Yeah. So I know this is kind of deeper down the spirituality path, but if we were to rein it all the way back into like energy leaks, okay, I'm observing that I'm leaving parts of myself throughout my life, or I've left parts of myself with some memories, or in the future with future thoughts and anxiety. What do I do right now? I pause, I take a breath, and I say, oh, I see you. I see you, energy, whether it's through journaling or talking or meditating, and I'm calling you back. And it's that simple.
Love.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And, well, yeah, do you have something else to say?
No.
Good. And we have a freebie in the show notes if you haven't seen that yet. That is a mind, body, soul checklist where you get to go, and this is going to help you throughout your day zip up your energy before you start the day. Or in the middle of the day, call your energy back. If you can take a moment to focus on one thing that's going to help or protect, whatever word you want to use, your mind, your body, and your soul, then you're going to walk through your life more whole because you did that. We're so glad you guys are here, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until next time.